Hello, everybody. This is episode 21 of the podcast, and we're going to talk about ways to determine a good training day. Stay tuned. Hello, everybody. My name is NoBSNutirition or Drake. Pretty much, I talk about 3 to 1 subject, and I'll go into more detail. Today, we're talking about one subject, and that subject is determining a good training day. Excuse me. Pretty much, I'm going to have 4 lists, and I'm going more depth. So let's get started. So, number 1, do you feel better afterwards? So let's say you did a training day, right? You did about 5 sets today of legs. It was hard, intense, grueling, but you did a good 5 sets. You feel better, you feel accomplished, etc. Compared to the person who does, let's say, hit cardio. So they're going over there, doing 20 sets of legs and doing cardio, right? Do you think the person who doing cardio and 20 sets will feel better than the person who only did 5 sets but still accomplished their rep goal, the weight goal, and everything? No, the person who's doing less is going to most likely feel better than the person who's doing more, just because the person who's doing more is having more intense. So, gotta determine that. The whole point of the gym is to feel better afterwards. Of course, if you like hurting yourself and you're a little masochist, or you like going hard in the gym and being fucking crazy and overtrained, then yeah, that might determine you feeling better, but your body will say otherwise. So you have to determine what is mentally, what is actually going to be beneficial for muscle growth, and which will make you enough satisfied but not overdoing it. So you have to determine that for yourself. Number 2, you like what you're doing. So this is a big component of like fitness. So if you don't like what you're doing, then you're not going to do it for long. If I get older woman who who is not liking, cardio and wants to lift big weights or the other way around, that older woman won't do the things that I would say to do. And if she doesn't like it, she won't be in the long term, longer than 6 months. She won't be in that stage to pursue her fitness goals because she doesn't like what she's doing. Especially if you go to the gym and then your friends take you and trying to beat you up in the gym and really make you tired and sweat and all those other things. And most likely, you're not having a higher chance to go back to the gym the next day. So you really need to make sure what you like to do in a gym and how to proceed it. Of course, for me, I like to do it on and off switch. Right now, I'm focusing on bodybuilding because I'm trying to grow muscle mass. I'm trying to get bigger forearms, etc. But I also switch it to powerlifting. Powerlifting is my favorite, so I do like powerlifting. So I like to switch it back and forth to make sure I'm getting stronger. But while getting stronger, I'm getting more ability, more muscle mass, more aesthetics. So you have to really make sure you like it. Are you getting stronger? Frequency, intensity, volume. So, number 4 is frequency, intensity, volume. Is it too much or too little? So, pretty much what I mean by this is it's too much. So, if are you doing, let's say, if you're doing 3 days, 3 days, 3 days a split, let's say legs, upper body, lower body, something like that, right? Are you doing too much? Are you doing 20 sets a week? Are you doing only 10 sets a week? Is that or are you doing only 5 sets a week? If you're doing a body part 2 times a week, let's say legs for example, or chest, let's say chest, and you're doing 10 sets each day, so that's 20 sets a week. That's really too much. Even though you can mentally handle it, just because you mentally can handle it doesn't mean your body will recover. And even if your body recovers, it doesn't mean it will grow super, like, overwhelmingly grow. Because even though you gain 5 pounds on, let's say, the bench press, if you reduce the volume and just let your body really adapt, because we're trying to find adaptation, then regression, then you most likely will grow over time and develop a 20-pound bench. So you really have to consider the factors of actually mentally considering what is too much and too little, and what is actually you need to push it. Because those are all a mental game, and if you're not mentally willing to push it or not mentally willing to push it back, then you're losing. You're losing at both sides. So if I get the client who doesn't really want to go to the gym, who doesn't want to do cardio, etc., I'm not going to tell that client to do 20 sets of everything, because that goes for the other topic. Do you like what you're doing? So if the same client doesn't like what they're doing, they're not going to do it, especially if I ask them to do 20 sets or 2 times a week or, 20 reps each set. So I had to determine what will help the client overall. So I would say to the client who is not really active, say at least trying to go to the gym 2 times a week, 3 times a week average, and let's just focus on cardio. Like not incessant amounts. Let's just focus on the treadmill. Let's just focus on the treadmill. Then after that, I would say let's focus on some weights. Let's just do 2 times a week, and then 3 times, and then if they want to 4 times. So the frequency is getting stronger. The intensity will get stronger overall in the volume. And that's the same client who doesn't, is not used to mentally trying to increase the intensity in the volume. So you have to determine who are you. Are you a person who doesn't really like to increase intensity, or who doesn't really like increasing volume, who lacks in the gym, or are you a person who overdoes it and like to go crazy and do drop sets or pyramids or giant sets every once a week? Even if it's the once a week, it still can be detrimental to your gains. So you have to determine that. That's really it for today's video. That was very short, very short, very short, very short. I just want to get honorable mentions. If you're a beginner and you're trying to get stronger, and you don't, I will say this, especially kids out there my age, I will say this: go to the gym at least 4 to 3 times a week and make it quality sessions. Don't be in the gym for like 5 hours and doing random stuff. Be in the gym for about an hour, at least for your training time. At least your training time, going an hour, and focus on getting stronger. I would say focus on the 4 compound lifts: bench, squat, overhead press, deadlift. Get strong. You will build some muscle mass. You will get a leaner physique. Eat more food. You're not gonna get fat on whole foods, and if you do, then you probably overate or you ate calorie dense food. So just be careful with that. Eat protein, of course, and trying to get strong. Don't be crazy. More does not mean better in the gym. Less is actually better in the gym for most people. Actually, of course, if you're not willing to go in the gym, you will do the bare minimum for you because you don't like it. But some people, even though they don't like it, they still do more, thinking that's going to give them more results. I like to say, if you work hard at your job, most likely will get promotion. Training is not the same thing. If you do more in training, you will most likely get a regression or a plateau, or you're gonna feel fatigued, or you're gonna feel sore, and it's just multiple factors. You guys have to take that accountability and see where you're at right now. Somewhere we talk about intensity, frequency, and volume. So how much intensity is everything? So are you doing 1 to 5 reps, or are you doing 1 rep maxes, or are you doing 8 to 12? Frequency is how many days or in a week. So how many times you hit that body part a week, 2, 3 days, or how many days you're working in general. That's also it. Volume is how many reps, sets possibly are you doing. So are you doing 20 sets each day, each week, or are you doing 5 sets? Number 3 is the same thing. So are you getting stronger? So this is just a recap of frequency, intensity, and volume. And do you like what you're doing? So do you like what you're doing? Are you a powerlifter? Are you a bodybuilder? Or do you like doing both? And do you feel better afterwards? That's the point. Do you feel accomplished? Do you feel good instead of beaten down and exhausted? So you have to determine that. That's really it for this video. My name is NoBSNutirition. A lot of guys like you like to watch fitness content, and this place is only for educational stuff in my experiences so far. Of course, I don't have the biggest experience, but for newcomers, I will have more experience than you. That's just naturally of my years. Even though I'm young, don't be discouraged. Try to learn from many people. Research my information also if you want to, and try to disprove me. I don't have nothing against that. Watch Mind Pump. They have great informational videos about this topic, more in detail, and longer podcasts. And that's really it for today's video. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.